G'day mate and welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. So we've got, actually, no, I'm sick of these flashing lamps. So we're just going to handcraft a bunch of them and dump them into robots and yeah. So we're out of research actually. No, it cancelled. So I've done an update. These, I don't generally update to the latest experimental version of Factorio because sometimes things break entirely. If you've been going through the experimental versions, there have been some classic bugs that have come up from bug fixes. So I've just updated the latest version, which means one, biters should be generally a little bit nicer, and our furnaces are actually going to dump out twice the pollution they were previously, which is not so good for us. But our miners now put out less pollution than they did just before the update. So hopefully it'll all break even somewhere along the line. One of the things that updated is the mining productivity I grabbed before gave us plus 2%. And it's still stuck at, no, we did 2 of them. So we got plus 2 and plus 2 being 4%. We actually technically have plus 10%. But it won't update until I do another one of these researches. So I'm going to throw that in the research queue as well, just to get it fixed. But the big thing is we can now see when we hover over our biter nests, we can see the evolution is at 0.4, which is still okay. But it now means we're getting more medium biters than we're getting small biters. So that's one of the reasons I keep going for the shooting upgrades and that sort of stuff to keep pushing us up. The tech tree to make sure we don't end up in trouble. The other thing that I need to do, because as I said, I'm sick of things flashing at me, is start putting bricks in a box, purely so the robots can go lay down 600 bricks. Because I've put that running path down that we haven't really used too much. And hopefully now the robots can go deal with the running path and make the running path a little bit more runnable. Okay, so now that we've done that and that, one thing we did do is we've got our modular armor. I've gone and handcrafted, and I'm not going to automate these. There is no point to automating portable solar panels. Solar panels, by all means, great thing to automate, which I haven't done yet because we don't have the production, nor do we have the space to put down large solar fields. Solar has the advantage of it has a fairly high upfront cost, but once it's paid for, it's permanent power. Whereas your boiler setups are very, very cheap to build, but they have a constant need for more fuel. So that's their trade-off. So we've now got those. I need a couple of batteries. Same story, not going to automate them. There is absolutely no point in a single-player game to automate them. If you're playing large multiplayer games, definitely something I would automate. You can pretty much guarantee every single one of our community maps. And if you're interested in joining the community map, come jump on Discord. We launch a new community map every single month. You'll find all these things end up being automated on our community maps because you're not talking about one player needing these supplies. You're talking about 20 or 30 players needing these supplies. And a night vision. So they're the 3 things I want. And we're going to dump those in. We're going to dump those in. And when night vision's done, I'm going to pop that in. So, I now have a little bit of battery. As you can see down here, it's going to charge ever so slowly. I now have night vision, so when it becomes nighttime, it should look pretty much the same as this. And the batteries will slowly charge over time. Now I've seen the space that's available in my inventory, in my armor, I'm going to build 1 more battery and 5 more solar panels, purely to fill it out. Oops, wrong button. No, I'm not handcrafting green circuits. That's a no-no. Purely to fill out the space that I have available, and we'll see this is like partially charged. If I put down another battery, it's going to drop in charge because it averages out the charge over all the batteries. What's that belt meant to be? Nothing. And that belt is meant to go all the way through, but obviously somebody built a power pole in the middle of it. Okay, so we've got some upgrades done. We need to, again, look at our tech tree and see, what do we want to unlock? We want to unlock, from blue science, we want to get down to the next science pack, which is purple, which requires advanced material processing. So we want to pick that one off. Pick up the actual purple science itself, because that's going to be one of the things required to get to the rocket at the end. And I think the other thing we need to do is we just need to look at the biters in the north, actually. So if we bring this up, we have biters here, because you can see they're eating pollution. We've got biters here, because they're eating pollution. We've got biters there, biters there. There's a nest here, even though we can't see it, because it's eating pollution. We've got this lot here. Our pollution hasn't got this far yet, because we're fairly lucky with a thick forest in the way, but it will get there eventually. So I think I'm going to take, how's our power? Our power's okay. What are we really, really short on? We're really, really short on really fuel. Even with my tweaks, because our petroleum is backed up because we're not using it fast enough. That's actually causing us most of the hassles. Actually, that's what I want. Let's do that first. So we've got military 3. Let's get tanks. Then we'll slip that one in. Then we'll go for advanced material processing to unlock electric furnaces to then unlock purple science. Okay. All our furnaces have been upgraded. That's now done. Pop that in there. And it's actually nighttime, so we can see the difference very, very quickly, what a difference night vision makes. It does have sort of like a grey. You lose a lot of colour wherever the night vision's working, but it now means that you can essentially very, very easily, I was doing it before via map view, but essentially now we can build very, very easily in day or night, along with doing combat at night. In the past, I would deeply avoid combat at night because it's just too risky. Now it's really not an issue. Okay, so we've got our automated wall in the south. I actually think maybe it's time to... we want to get these patches. We want to get this patch. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get tanks, obviously. We're going to get... Do I have to get tanks first, unlock tank rounds? I do. Okay. We're going to take some of our explosives, which are on a belt. We're going to copy this and fill out our bus. Now we have robots to be able to do that for us very, very, very quickly. That's going to have to be looked at. Okay, that's actually right beside us. Let's go look at it right now. So, batteries go like that. That'll clean up that problem. Clean that up, clean that up. Clean this up. What else do we have? We've got that belt which was turned, which is probably not good. What was that going to? Oh, robot frames. Well, that explains why robot frames aren't working. So we're going to copy these two, continue them forth. Oops. Continue this belt forth, continue this one, that one. Now I can copy like 6 at a time and just run these further forth as well. Oops. Let's not do that or do any of that. Copper needs to go around / under / through oil. Because we decided to literally build through our oil. Just for a challenge. Green circuits all the way back here. Same story. Every single time it runs into one of these pipes, it's just going to have to underground it. I'm going to use red undergrounds because I'm all out of yellow belt. Now, assuming this is a repeatable pattern, I should be able to go to there, fill that in as far as possible, fill in the middle bit, and then copy from there to there. Hang on, let's line this up to there, to there. I'm just pasting over the last one. Red belt underground. Copy that. You need to go up a tile. Build that out. Build. Oh, I did it again. I slid by a tile. Build that out further. Okay, now we've done all that. Why are batteries there? Could batteries be anywhere else? And the answer is definitely. They could come down a... Well, actually, we've got red belts down. So, in the past, we used yellow belts. We always put in a 4-tile gap. Because that's as far as a yellow belt can reach. Now we actually have red belt technology, and we can happily jump a 6-tile gap. We can actually have 6 belts together to form a bus. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave the batteries as they are. I'm also going to, at the same time, tie in explosives right here. And it's going to also become part of the bus. It's just going to end up being part of this 6-tile bus. We want to move that down a tile. We want to run batteries, so we can run batteries both forward and backward. Okay, so this will get explosives along to here. We want explosives over here somewhere because we've already done the research actually. We're going to make some tank rounds, which require explosives, plastic, and steel. So plastics up here, steel's up here as well. We're going to copy and just paste that along a little bit further. There's just 2 belts missing. Same with this. We're going to copy and we're just going to do not do that, please. Fill those out, fill those out, fill that out, that one as well. It'll reach that far, so we might as well take the advantage and move all the way along. Such an expensive way of doing it. You can underground instead. Okay, now I've only got 2 undergrounding and the rest can just flow straight through this gap. Okay, explosives. Tree be gone? I don't have a tree be gone anymore. Okay, we're going to want enough room to potentially double this. So, again, blueprint, we're just going to go, yeah, it takes up about that much room. So then if I go deconstruct over here, we now know that's where our next, that's potentially where our next build's going to go. we can now copy all the belts of the bus. And I best always do this from map view, because that way you're just sliding directly left and right. It's not actually relying on your player character moving left to right in a straight line. Bring power all the way back to here. Copy that. Same story. We're just going to take our brick path out right to the end. And we've got our little path cleared. We want... Okay, I do want one of these, and I want set to trees and rocks only. And just go away. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. So, we want to make... We got two choices. We've got cannon shells or explosive cannon shells. Obviously, you know, in theory, we should make both, because either could be valuable. We really don't know. By the same token, explosive ones always sound better. So, tank shells require steel, plastic, explosives, and explosive tank shells just require actually more explosives. So that actually makes things really easy. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll leave a little bit of a gap. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 again. You, cannon shells. You, explosive cannon shells. Okay, so we want steel, plastic, and explosives. And these got a fairly long craft time on it. So we can probably have things share a belt without too much hassle. By the same token, we can use a red belt, which moves exactly twice the amount of a yellow belt, so, you know, it should be fine. Steel's there, steel's there, plastic's there, so they're going to come down this side. Explosives are going to come down the other side, which is conveniently right here. So we're just going to split that off, run our explosive belt down, clear out a bit more trees so we can see what we're doing. Go bots. Input, 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 and you can see now more than ever I'm ghosting more and more things down. I'll actually get to the stage where as long as I'm in the base, I'm probably not using any materials. A medium power pole, because that'll have the reach to go across that build. And then we're going to go with output this way. I'm going to use a medium power pole there to get the extra space coverage. Again, a medium power pole to make sure everything's powered up. And then we'll have a belt this way and a belt that way. We want a couple of these chests. Can I fix that slightly? Let's go with your input, your output. Put those both down. Put that down, that down. We're going to cap it to 2 stacks. I think 2 stacks for both should be heaps. Plop down a Roboport right grenade. Yep, that'll do. Plop down a Roboport right. I should come further down. Right there, it seems. Go away, trees. Thank you. Where are we? Roboport. I can upgrade that power pole. You've now got power. Nope. You've now got power. So, you're happy. You'll have explosives eventually when some robot decides to build this crap. We are sort of maxing them out. We have asked them to do an awful lot at once. Half of those could go on there. That way they can put down wherever lights are still remaining. I'm worried about how much ammo these guys are going to have. Like 200 kills, 130 kills, 250 kills. That's a fair bit. The south wall's automated now, so I'm not worried about it at all. And the biters are still getting chewed up by our ammo, so I can't complain. Alright, so we want underground. We want a... Oop. That's one thing I didn't craft. I didn't craft the belt immunity. Research the belt immunity. That one. Start research. It's so quick, I actually... Yeah, let's just do it now. That one. Start that one again. Do advanced material processing 2. Then purple sites. Okay. Because this is it's a 10-second research. It's so fast. And then it means the belts won't bother us anymore. Okay, so I need to bring that down to there. I need to get steel and plastic on this. So we're going to put a steel there. That's easy enough. Hook that back into there. And belt immunity equipment. So, which actually means we've got 1 solar panel. Too many. Go away. And then plastic. So for plastic, I'm going to have you underground all the way out of my way. The next belt's also steel, so I'm going to have it go all the way out of my way. I'm then going to put in another belt for my plastic production, and we're just going to merge it like that. That should solve all the problems. That has to be red belt. And voila. Okay, so where's my belt immunity equipment? So, belts move me, a little bit frustrating. Drop this in here and suddenly belts do nothing. Beautiful update, love it. Okay, input, 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 input. Use my small power poles whilst I can, because once they're done, we never have to look at them again. Where's my explosives? You, robots. Work harder. Get rid of the trees. There we go. Explosives in. You got materials, you got materials. Materials are making it to the end of the belt, which means everything will be able to build. And we have shells, and eventually we'll have explosive shells. Excellent. Alright, what do I need for a tank? It doesn't matter, it's in my inventory. Plastic, I can just dump that straight into these machines. Any other random stuff I have in my inventory, I can just dump straight into you guys. That's the alarm, making the table vibrate like hell. Okay, so we've extended the bus, we've got some ammo. I will want some solid fuel, because the tank is obviously like the car, it runs on some sort of fuel. Solid fuel actually has a vehicle acceleration bonus. So we go from 100% being the default on coal and wood, up to 120. So we can take off a little bit faster. If we go up to rocket fuel, which I do want to do, we can then... Actually, let's just handcraft some of that. We get a vehicle acceleration bonus for 180%. With a tank, that actually makes a massive difference. So, what's the story with our make everything? Can we just... No, we do have enough belts. It's just... Oh no, we can't produce belts fast enough. That is actually the issue. Okay, they'll get there. Tank. How much ammo do I have on me? Probably not enough. Let's go get some more ammo. There's a forest in the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I want to run down to this ammo belt right here, because it's the closest to me. Actually, I missed these guys entirely. They can go away. And we'll just slurp up a bit of this belt. 300 ammo, that's probably enough. So, given the time, I'm going to actually call this episode here. We've extended the bus even further. We've got some shells being made, which now I don't have on me, and I've wandered away from them. So I'm going to stand right here, and we're going to request a stack of each. Turns out to be 200. So we're going to request that our poor Logibots go pick these guys up and bring them to us. And then, oh, they also bring us belt and all sorts of other crap that we probably don't need. And in the next episode, we're going to go say hello to these neighbors and these neighbors. And then, because we now have robots that can do it, we're probably just going to extend this wall, well, definitely across here to choke that off. And then probably in some sort of fashion across here and choke that off. And that way we can say, look, this is our part of the map, at least. And we'll have to do something about the north. But they're all problems for next episode. Either way, thank you guys for watching. As always, I do hope you're enjoying this series. We're using robots to our advantage and really, really upgrading things. By the same token, I'm looking at some of our belts going, this is not a good sign. So yeah, we've got to look into things. We definitely need more iron input. More everything, as always. So that's it. I'm out. Thank you guys very much for watching. See you in the next one.